Hey everyone, and welcome to Simply Explained. If you've ever looked at the tech world and just wondered, where on earth do I even begin? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today we're going to demystify this huge landscape of tech careers and literally give you a map to find your way. I mean, looking at the tech industry can feel like you're staring at this giant, complicated maze, right? You've got 100 different paths, all labeled with jargon like DevOps, Full Stack, or Scrum Master. Are you a builder, a problem solver, a strategist? It's so easy to get lost before you've even taken your first step.
But don't you worry. Today, we're giving you that map. We're going to chart a course together, exploring 4 key territories of the tech landscape, from the most accessible entry points all the way up to the most advanced, specialized roles. Okay, let's start our journey right on the front line. Our journey starts right here. These are the crucial roles that really bridge the gap between super complex technology and, well, the people who actually use it. As the first point of contact, these jobs are fantastic and, honestly, often underrated entry points into the whole industry.
And you know, right away, we see a really clear divide here on the front line. On one hand, you've got the hands-on problem solvers in tech support, and on the other, you've got the strategic communicators, the sales engineers. Now, while both are absolutely essential, you can see their different skill sets lead to a pretty big difference in pay, even at the very start of the journey. Let's break down why that is.
So, first up, we have the unsung heroes of any IT department, the technical support specialist. Seriously, when your software crashes or your computer just will not connect to the network, they're the ones who swoop in and fix it. Their duties are very hands-on, installing, managing, troubleshooting. And here's the key thing, look at the accessibility. Some roles are open to candidates with just a high school diploma and a real knack for problem solving. It's one of the best launchpads into a tech career, period.
Okay, now for the other side of the front line, the sales engineer. This is where deep technical knowledge meets really powerful communication skills. See, they don't just understand the product inside and out, they have to make customers feel its value. This blend of expertise, being able to talk tech with the engineers and then turn around and talk business with executives, that's exactly why you see that big jump in salary. They're the ones who directly drive a company's revenue.
So from the front line, let's journey inward to the very foundation of the tech world. This section is for the creators, the architects of our digital landscape. We're talking about the people who actually write the code for the apps, websites, and systems that we all use every single day. Let's meet the builders.
You can see a really clear ladder here, can't you? It starts with programmers who write specific chunks of code. Then it moves up to web developers who create our online experiences. And it climbs all the way to software engineers who design entire complex systems. It's a pretty simple rule. As the scope and the complexity of the job grows, so does the paycheck. So, at the base of this pyramid, you've got the computer programmer. They are fluent in languages like Python, Java, or C++. And their core job is to translate human ideas into the super precise instructions a computer can actually follow. Think of them as the essential craftsmen, meticulously writing and testing the code that becomes the building blocks for, well, everything.
Next up, the web developer, a role that really has 2 different sides to it. First, there's the front end, which is everything you see and interact with on a website, the layout, the fonts, the buttons. But then there's the back end, which is the powerful engine running behind the scenes, handling all the logic and the data. So to put it simply, they create the visuals users see, and the server, application, and database, they don't.
And at the very top of our builders category is the software engineer. Think of them as the master architects. So while a programmer might build a single wall or a room, the software engineer designs the entire skyscraper. They apply these really rigorous engineering principles to make sure the whole system is strong, scalable, and efficient, planning how all the different pieces will fit together long before a single line of code ever gets written.
Okay, now here's where things get really interesting. What do we do with all the information that these systems are creating? I mean, every click, every purchase, every single interaction generates data. This brings us to the analysts, the sense makers of the digital age, the ones who turn all those raw, messy numbers into powerful, actionable insights.
Here we've got 2 roles that are distinct but also deeply connected. The data analyst is like a detective, searching for clues and stories that are hidden inside the data. And the database administrator, they're the meticulous librarian, carefully organizing and protecting that vast library of information so the detective can actually do their work. One finds the meaning, and the other protects the source.
So let me ask you,
Do you enjoy solving really complex puzzles? Because that's pretty much the heart of a data analyst's job. They're like storytellers who use numbers instead of words. They sift through mountains of information to find hidden patterns and trends, like which marketing campaign is actually working, or where customer demand is growing. And they translate all of that into insights that help a business make its next big move.
And where is all that data actually stored? Well, that is the domain of the database administrator, or DBA. This person is literally the guardian of an organization's most valuable asset, its information. They make sure the databases are secure from threats, running efficiently, properly backed up so nothing is ever lost, and accessible to the right people at the right time. It's a role that carries a huge amount of responsibility.
All right, this brings us to the final and most advanced stage of our journey, the architects. These are the experts who design, build, and protect the massive, complex digital infrastructures that power our entire modern world, from a company's internal network all the way to global cloud services that reach millions of people.
Okay, so we are now firmly in high-stakes, high-salary territory. These roles are all about managing the core digital infrastructure that everything else runs on. It's all about keeping data flowing, keeping it safe from attack, and building it on a global scale. The salaries here really reflect just how absolutely critical these jobs have become to every single modern business.
First up, the network engineer. If you think about a company's data, like traffic, the network engineer is the one who designs the highways, the traffic lights, and the overpasses. They are absolutely obsessed with flow and efficiency, making sure all that digital information gets where it needs to go quickly, reliably, and without any crashes or security breaches. They build the digital backbone of the company.
Next, let's meet the digital defenders, the cybersecurity specialist. These folks are on the front lines of a constant battle, building and testing digital defenses to protect a company's valuable data and systems from an endless stream of threats. They have to think like the attackers to stay one step ahead, which makes this a high-stakes, super fast-paced, and absolutely crucial field.
And finally, we have the cloud engineer. You know, the cloud isn't some magical place up in the sky. It's a massive, global network of servers owned by companies like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. Cloud engineers are the experts who help businesses tap into that incredible power. They design new systems and migrate old processes to the cloud, enabling a level of innovation and scale that would have been impossible just a decade ago.
Now look, we've only explored 10 major roles today, but our map is far from complete. The tech world is huge. There are user experience designers who obsess over how a product feels to use, product managers who are kind of like the CEO of a specific product, data scientists who go beyond just analysis to build algorithms that can predict the future, and as you can see from the salaries of these highly specialized developers, the opportunities for growth are just vast.
So, we've looked at the map, we've explored all the different territories, from the frontline all the way to the architects. Now for the most important question of all, how do you actually start your own journey? Let's break down the practical first steps.
You know, looking back at all the roles we just covered, a really clear three-step pattern starts to emerge. Step one is often getting a foundational degree in a field like computer science, IT, or statistics. This gives you that core theoretical knowledge. Step two involves layering specialized certifications on top of that to master the specific tools and platforms that companies are actually using right now. And step three, which is absolutely key, is gaining practical, hands-on experience. Remember, in tech, a lot of employers value what you can do just as much, if not more, than what's written on your diploma.
And that brings us to the end of our map. The paths are all laid out, the destinations are marked. The only question left is the one right there on the screen. What's your first step going to be? Thanks so much for joining us on this tour of tech careers. If you enjoyed this breakdown from Simply Explained and you want more complex topics made simple, make sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time.